Hello everybody, my name is Reese, and I will be talking about gaming and the effects that the industry surrounding it has on their audience's carbon footprints. It would be a severe understatement to describe the video gaming industry as anything but a big deal. As per a 2018 inquiry from Reuters, the revenue generated by it was stated to have eclipsed that of all other major entertainment categories, surpassing television, box office film, and digital music. And looking to recent events, this growth hasn't seemed to waver in the slightest. Amidst the movements towards self-isolation in global response to the COVID-19 pandemic, now more than ever, there are more and more individuals stuck at home and gaming to pass the time, while digitally interacting with others they would otherwise be unable to interact with. Despite how popular gaming is, there exists an astounding deficit in user understanding of their hobby's environmental impact. I've chosen to analyze these specific elements of the gaming industry: user satisfaction with corporate green practices, power consumption of video gameplay and graphics, and user opinions of gamified sustainability, to contribute to the dialogue that aims to answer the question, how does an individual's gaming hobby contribute to global carbon emissions? Firstly, I'd like to address the issue of gamer satisfaction with the public claim of commitment to green practices by gaming companies such as EA and Every. While initiatives like the United Nations' Playing for the Planet has brought together organizations to introduce positive changes to the industry, I don't think that these measures are enough. These gaming giants refuse to address the heart of the issue. That is, the disposable mindset that runs through their industry. Following the release of a new physical device, companies continually develop and release new iterations in the name of making more money, be it gaming accessories, consoles, or games, at the cost of our environment. The uniquely truncated life cycle of gaming products is a deeply flawed ideology that desperately needs updating. As a proposed solution, we need to emphasize our desire for producer responsibility, vocalizing it as what we, participants in the industry, require to more adequately participate in this system. Moreover, for meaningful change to be effected, we must consider our products with a lengthened life cycle and demand that companies do the same, applying ideologies of a circular economy into their practices. In response to corporate greenwashing, it doesn't matter how effective your damage control is, if the initial source of the problem is ignored and left unchanged. And lastly, I'd like to discuss how users have viewed gamified sustainability. There exists a school of thought that considers educational games useless, boring, and unnecessary because of unsuccessful attempts at doing so many years prior. An example of this is the game Emerald Island, and the criticism it received after a blog post was made about it on Treehugger. And yeah, so this is just one comment from the aforementioned blog post. Feel free to pause the presentation to read it in full. And this mindset isn't new to me. I've heard it before, but I just felt the need to put it in because I've never seen it worded this strongly. And as a proposed solution, I suggest we redevelop video game concept generation strategies, because an engaging story that addresses a meaningful social issue is very possible. An example of this is the Civilization game series pictured over here, wherein the idea of a circular economy is conveyed and promoted as a core gameplay mechanic, with the goal in-game being to establish resources in production as precisely consumed by what one needs. As for the relevance of gamification to the big idea of sustainability, it is important to remember that global change requires a shift in every sphere, and this act, as unnecessary as it may seem, provides a platform for such concepts and ideas to circulate within the gaming industry and influence society as a whole. And despite this dynamic industry's obsession with innovation and efficiency, it continues to ignore developing its operations to act sustainably. Now more than ever, we desperately need all areas of this industry to operate more thoughtfully. As participants in this industry, we should not be satisfied in our ignorance. It is important to educate ourselves on how our games impact carbon footprint, so we are reminded that our actions always have consequences. Further, it is integral that we continue to critically assess the world, considering how even the things we enjoy can be improved for more effective future use. We must recognize our place in this industry as participants, not consumers, as the gaming market is so heavily driven by our interest. As such, voicing our opinion is a much more powerful act than one might think, in affecting global change towards a 1.5-degree lifestyle. And my name is Reese Young, and thank you so much for your time.